welcome back. It's your host, Texas Boy, and you're rocking with me at Texas Boy Studios. Next weekend, we got a banger of a UFC fight card. And I don't mean a banger, I mean a banger. All right? We got Magomedov versus Arman to start the main card off. All right? This is going to be a real good matchup for the middleweight division here. Then we got the light heavyweight division coming on up. It's a number one contenders match for the light heavyweight championship of the world, and we are about to see who Alex Pereira's next victim is going to be. Is it going to be Ankalaev or is it going to be Rakic? We'll find out next Saturday. Then we got Leon Murphy versus Dan 50K Ige. Let's go. UFC 303 was a delight treat with him, Dan Ige versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez already stood back in there, took care of Brian Ortega. Now, Van Ige gets to step back in the cage after having a banger of a fight at UFC 303. Then we got Robert the Reaper Whittaker versus Hamzat or Chimaev. Now, Robert Whittaker is the former middleweight champion, and we have Hamzat Chimaev, who is on an unbeaten streak in his professional career. Main event, UFC Featherweight Championship of the World. We got the contender slash two-time UFC Featherweight Champion slash UFC BMF current champion versus Ilya Topuria, the UFC Featherweight Champion of the World. This is going to be a banger. Now we're going to start at the first fight of the main card, and that is Magomedov versus Arman. Now these two guys coming up in the middleweight division, and this is going to be basically the fight that gets either one of these guys into the top 15 because they're both unranked as of this moment. So those two guys are fighting for the top 15 rankings in the UFC because once you get into the top 15, it ain't nothing but killers after that. Top 10, top 5, we ain't even going to talk about that because they got a long way to work and they got to put on some good performances in order to move up the rankings in the top 15. Now, we got the second fight of the night of the main card. Magomed Ankalaev was supposed to fight for the championship, but as we seen, Khalil Roundtree got the title fight. So, what does that mean? That means A, Ankalaev never got the contract because he got this fight, or B, he did get the contract and decided to skip it and let Khalil Roundtree get the belt. Now that that fight is already over with, I believe that Khalil Roundtree was the only one to get the opportunity, and this guy already had a fight locked in. And I quote, I believe Dana White said that as well. So, this is the number one contenders match to see who Alex Pereira's next victim is. Because of right now, Alex Pereira is ruling the light heavyweight division after already ruling the middleweight division. If you ask me, should he go down to middleweight back again? Probably not. But this number one contenders match is going to see who goes next for the championship. Now, Leon Murphy versus Dan 50K Ige. Now, these two guys in the featherweight division are looking to bump up and try to make their spot and claim their spot, as I should say, in the featherweight division because the champ and the number one contender for the featherweight division is about to fight at the last fight of that night. So they got to put on a performance so they can show themselves in the top 10 and show the UFC that they're ready for, you know, the next one. The next one that's going to get them closer to the title shot. Now, you got Diego Lopez. He's already about to be he's probably the next one for the featherweight championship, right? Then you got Dan Ige coming up, you know. So I'm not gonna say what if. But if 50K can make it out of this fight with Leon Murphy and put on a statement, I'm pretty sure that if something was to happen in the featherweight division, they might make an interim championship 50K Ige versus Diego Lopez again. Just saying. That could be an eye opener. Watch out for that. But first, 50K got to get through this fight with Leon Murphy. And boy, oh boy, can he get through it. I believe he can get it done. I believe he can get it done with a finish in the second round. The man puts on a pressure like no other. Now, the co main event is going to be Robert Whittaker, former middleweight champion. Now, he's going up against Hazat Hamzat Chimaev. Okay, and Hamzat is on a tear, but with his last two fights being in the his last fight in the welterweight division being against Gilbert Burns, that was a tough fight. Okay, and he came away with the win. And then his last fight was in the middleweight division against Kamar Usman, who is the former welterweight champion. So Kamar Usman moves up because the title changed hands. Izzy isn't the champion no more. But as we all know, Kamar Usman is suspected to move back down to welterweight. So Hamzat Shemaev is at 185. Now, he's the type of guy I can see winning 3 belts in the UFC. But he's got to get through the former champion in Robert Whittaker. Can he get it done? Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to find out. I'm going to tell you that right now. And then we got the last fight of the night. Ilya Topuria. He needs no introduction as the champion. Knocking out Volkanovski. Okay? Now, Volkanovski beat Max Holloway 3 times. They're waiting on a quadrilogy. I guess you could say that. But Ilya knocked Volk out the second round. Did something that Max Holloway couldn't do. He put the champ, or as I should say, the former champ, he put him away. So 15 and 0, massive power behind the champion. Can he put away the BMF champion and Max Holloway, the former time featherweight champion? Can he put him away? He has the power. Does he have the skill? Does he have the knowledge? Does he have the IQ in the cage to go against Max Holloway? Now, we've seen an interview with Ilya and Max, and they were both going at it a little bit. Ilya's over here taunting him. He's got a BMF belt he bought online for like 600-700 bucks. He just wanted it. He just spent some cash on it. He didn't earn it. Max Holloway doesn't even have his BMF belt in camera view. Why? Because he already won the belt and he won it against Justin Gaethje in a different weight class, may I should say. So technically, the BMF belt is in the 155-pound division. Now, whoever wins this main event and takes this UFC featherweight championship, this could go one or two ways. We could have Ilya Topuria move up to 155 and challenge for a second belt because he's pretty much took care of everybody in the featherweight division if he gets through Max Holloway. That's a big if. Max Holloway's never been finished by strikes. He's only been finished by Dustin Poirier, and that was due to submission. So I don't believe Topuria can submit him, but that's not to say that he can't pull out an armbar somewhere. I don't see Max really going for takedowns. So Max isn't that type of guy. I believe this is going to be a standing bang. But Ilya carries more power on his side than Max does. And Max is going from 155 but back down to 145. How does a weight cut work? Does the champ have a bad weight cut? Does he have an excellent weight cut? We got to see how all these guys on the main card come out on fight week next week. So I can't wait for UFC 308. UFC 308 is going to be a banger. We're going back to Abu Dhabi. So, Turk, everybody over there is going to be chilling. Connor's probably going to be in attendance. I would say so. He was just in Spain for the BKFC event over there in Marbella. Now, with the main event, and pretty sure Connor's going to be in attendance. Let's just say Max Holloway wins the belt. So he'll have the current UFC featherweight championship and he'll have the current BMF championship. Now I can't see Connor dropping back down to 145. But what I can do is seeing the UFC giving the featherweight division time to play out because either, you know, let's say, the whoever becomes the champ gets the rest for the holidays, right? If Max becomes the champ again, rest for the holidays, probably fight Diego Lopez right at 145. But then you've still got the BMF belt out there, and then you still got Connor going to be in attendance. You know Connor's going to be in attendance. Connor's going to be in attendance for that one, and then Connor's going to be in attendance next month in November for the Michael Chandler and the Charles Oliveira fight. But that's another video. And for UFC 308 to be in Abu Dhabi at the Etihad Arena, man, all the stars are coming out. Everybody's coming out for that. It's going to be a banger. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Hamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker and to see who is the true number one middleweight contender. Okay? Because Hamzat gets a dub on this, they're going to give him the title shot. And then if Robert Whittaker gets a finish, he'll be the first guy to finish Hamzat Chimaev, only guy to finish Hamzat Chimaev in his professional career and in the UFC. Then Hamzat goes where? Where does Hamzat go after this? You know what I mean? Like, do you stay in the middleweight division? You only have one loss. Obviously, you're going to fight a top five guy. You're not going to go anywhere. But you do have your picks and choices of whether to stay in the middleweight division or go back down to welterweight division. And then 50K Ige versus Leon Murphy. We know this is going to get them in the top five, if not top 10 for sure. This has got to get them in the top 10, if not the top five, to try to see who's going to be next for the next oncomer. One of these guys got to win so the featherweight division can move on and move forth. But the light heavyweight division is on notice, and it is on notice big time. Alex Pereira is putting every light heavyweight, every UFC fighter on notice. That man feels like he can fight in any division. He's already fought in the middleweight division, and he's champion of the light heavyweight division. Now, whether or not Alex goes up to middle or heavyweight, whatever that will be, we don't know. But next weekend, we will find out who is the number one contender for the light heavyweight belt. Will it be Alexander, or will it be Rockage, or will it be Ankalaev? We'll see. Trust me, we'll see. I can't wait. The first fight is going to be a banger, should be a banger, and then they'll tap in with me. Let me know how I did in the comments. Let me know what you want to talk about. Talk to me in the video about it. Let me know what you feel down in the comments. Let me know what you feel about the video. Let me know what you feel about each and every fight, from the first fight of the main card all the way to the main event. If you got any thoughts about the prelims, drop them in the comments down below. And till the next video, see you then. Peace.